Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Mr. JP, the game is Out of Ore, and big thank you to all the subscribers and viewers out there. You're all brilliant. It's cold Tuesday morning where I am, about -6 outside. That's degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's pretty chilly. I think -40 where Fahrenheit and Celsius come together, but yeah, -6 is still pretty nippy. It's making bottles of water that will fall outside explode and stuff, which is kind of cool. So yeah, last episode, this is a continuation. You can see how much I've dug out here compared to where I started, which was about that floor level, maybe a little higher. So I've dug out about the height of a loader of a lithium seam that's no bigger than the footprint of a loader, and I ended up with 2 million. And that went straight through this machine and straight onto the line and out. So I have taken my jaw crushers off of my other lines because I don't think the crushers are worth using unless you're processing a lot of stone. Getting really annoyed with this whole lag problem that's going on with this game. I'm hoping they fix it soon. I've just left a comment in the Discord about it to see whether anyone knows any solutions. I tried turning off the VSync and that appeared to help a little, but realistically it's still a bit of a clunge. I think it's the best word for it, clunge. Yeah, that one sums it up. Quite fond of that one. Quite fond of some of the swear words from Red Dwarf as well. I use Smeg quite a lot. Gimboid, Smeghead, yeah, they get used. You get used to it. You work in customers' houses, you sort of start modifying your language when bad things happen. So you twat your finger with a hammer or your thumb with a hammer. Yeah, the words sugar and fudge and blast was quite common. Yeah, especially when the kids are around. Been thinking about doing some child-friendly videos of footage of machines working without any voiceover. If you're interested in those, let me know and I'll make one up for you. I've been thinking about getting into video editing too. Let me know what you think about that, whether you prefer edited footage. Not sure how I'll record the voiceover of that. It's all stuff I'll have to learn. I like a bit of learning, like a bit of knowledge. As you guys know, most of my gaming is about pulling things apart, finding out what's going on. That's why this lag problem annoys me. It's probably just a mathematical error or a full file somewhere in the game. But I don't know enough about software and programming to be able to even start parsing the situation to try and fix it, so I'll leave it to Christian. He knows best. He's the developer. He built the game. He knows about these things. I'm pretty sure he's on it. I should hope he's on it, because it's the primary thing that's affecting my game pleasure at the moment. I know others of my viewers have mentioned they're sort of thinking they play a game for a few months and then move on. I can understand why. Completely understand why, because I do a similar thing, but sometimes I play 3 games in the same day. So perhaps I do have some kind of ADHD, but it just stops things getting stale, you know. So Out of Ore's held me quite well. This isn't getting stale, but it also takes a long time to play. So a bit like Space Engineers, a bit like 7 Days to Die as well. That takes a long time to get somewhere in. As if I start a new game in 7 days and start filming that, you'll see what I mean. You'll be 170 hours in before your character's up there with to the top of the tree. Depending on difficulty and XP that you set it to as well, because the game is eminently rebuildable. Space Engineers is the same kind of deal. That's less to do with XP and more to do with the fact it takes a certain amount of time to mine materials out and then process them, and then to actually build the big ships and stuff, you know. Stuff like that is project worthy for a group of people, not just one guy. It's a bit like this game. People are bemoaning the fact that this game isn't multiplayer, and it would be good if it was multiplayer, but at the same time, the reason it's not multiplayer is because of what happened with Bergsbrook. A multiplayer asset wasn't provided. It's the words that were used by the developer. I don't quite get... I get the implication, but I can only assume that it's something to do with the Unreal 4 engine. Because other multiplayer games using the Unreal 4 engine that were in development around the same time as Bergsbrook had a similar problem. So I think there was a big letdown by games engine producer, I guess, whoever produced the Unreal 4 engine. But I don't know the facts, so yeah. Just know that there was a lot of problems with Unreal 4 engine games around the same time. So apparently there's an Unreal 5 engine as well. Don't know what that's about. Need to do a bit of investigation into game engines. I've always thought about building my own computer game. Probably not something as advanced as this, I'm going to be honest for the moment, but something a bit more old school, maybe a top-down combat simulation or something to start with. I don't know. Not too many graphics for me to program, just a set of rules, tables. I've got friends who enjoy a little bit of combat simulation, so I don't know, we'll see. The other thing was something that was almost a crossbreed between Space Engineers and Minecraft. So the implications of the multiplayer of that, even back when we were thinking about it, because that was a while ago, were awkward. Likewise, we were trying to think of a way of multiplayering Kerbal Space Program, because that's got a time fast forward function, because missions can take years, and I mean literally years. So you need to be able to fast forward time, and of course in a multiplayer situation that becomes a bit awkward. So yeah, we had a lot of fun throwing the ideas around. But yeah, the processor experiment went well. As I say, 2 million out of that small amount of lithium shows that once you find a large lithium seam at the start of the game, you can get rid of any debt you like. You don't even need to do any fuel missions, like, geez. So yeah, I'm just working this material towards my newly modified machinery. And I'm not going to make the same mistake I made earlier, where I bulldozed loads into these hoppers, went over to this machine, hit the button to turn it on, and saw a number that said 17,000%, and that's the point that I went for my breakfast and a cup of coffee and came back to the game later. So yeah, we'll fire that up now. So yeah, I've taken the jaw crushers off the line just because I think they were actually robbing me of all the good stuff by crushing it up. I think they're only meant really for when the stone percentage is very high. And currently I'm not even seeing anything really grey in this mess, so yeah, there's a lot of pay dirt on the top of the initial sell point hill. A lot of it. I don't know whether that's deliberate to allow you to start making money, or whether it's more to do with it's on top of a hill, so there's a lot of subsoil before you get down to the rock, and the rock's only in the valleys or something. But mountains are normally made out of rock, so I'm expecting to find rock inside this mountain as I head in the direction that we're facing at the moment. So yeah, I'm bulldozing away, and the aim of this video is just to see whether my 20-minute guess for manoeuvring materials around is about right for filling out that file that sort of gets too big. I've put some dividers into these hoppers because I think that the material that was resting on the sides of the hoppers as I was bulldozing in, A, I was thinking I was losing it, but B, these hoppers are still sort of getting material go through the floor and grow through the floor. So I think I'm going to have to dig out underneath them again, which might involve more explosives. So I might move the whole system downwards and bulldoze more of it out. I don't know yet. But yeah, from the experiment over at that lithium hill, I was getting magnetite out, I was getting all sorts, but on my jaw crusher line I was not seeing any of that stuff, so I figure we'll just take them out, run it again, see what kind of profit we get. I was getting like 300s and 400s coming up all the time when it was paying in last time. Of course, I haven't actually checked this machine is wired up properly, it might be leaking everywhere. No, we're all good, it's not leaking. So it should be making a profit now. Keep an eye out in the top left for those numbers that I just don't see, for some reason. I think it's because it's white on white, there's already right writing in the corner, so ignore it when it flashes up. Once again, a bit of UI design. It's an important thing in games. User interface and how the game appears can be what makes or breaks it. I do know that in other games, such as well, Space Engineers is one that freaks out completely to my mind. The UI in Space Engineers can be a little bit awkward to use, the inventory and stuff, and that's because it's actually incredibly powerful. It's clunky and it's a bit awkward, sure, but it can allow you to do anything you like in that game. You can run other bases from your base, you can set up automated ships to fly automated routes, and then take over if they get attacked. If you know how to do the scripting in that game, you can program blocks to do anything you like. Yeah, so there's a few things you can do. So we get 333 ton. You see, I'm on uneven ground, and the dozer really doesn't like uneven ground. So back up and take another run through there and try and straighten it out a bit. Also trying to spread where I push material into the hoppers to try and get more of it in per second. And that's not to do with getting the machine to run any faster, because the machine will run at the machine speed. And the conveyor run out is also something that limits how much can go per second, but it's about the speed it destroys these little balls. The more hoppers it goes into across the range, the more these little balls will disappear faster because there's more hoppers to absorb them. So there'll be less sitting around on the map, is my theory. But I'm not really running the machine at the moment, I'm just trying to pile up some material, getting ready for a big machine run. So I might wire up these hoppers slightly differently so they hit multiple machines as well. See how that goes, whether it's an easy mod to put in. I've got plenty of components in my inventory after ripping out the jaw crushers, which I was a fool. I deleted a jaw crusher, I deleted a small hopper, looked in the inventory, and all I had was a small hopper in slot 1 and no jaw crusher. So bear that in mind if you're short on money, people. You can demolish one thing, demolish something in a different category, and they both end up in slot 1 and one of them disappears, the first one. So yeah, demolish things by category. If you've got like jaw crushers and hoppers and stuff all lined up, demolish the hoppers all in one go, demolish the jaw crushers all in one go, and between changing item, check your inventory and that it's not in slot 1. Bit like remembering to turn off the demolish key. These are important things. They sound small, but they will get you. So yeah, we've been bulldozing for 12 minutes or so. I think I'm starting to see frame rate drops. The indicator's on a dark background, which makes it a bit awkward. So yeah, 10 to 15 minutes of machine action and terrain editing is probably all you're going to get out of the game at the moment. And then what I've been doing is, as I say, bulldozing material up till you can't do it anymore, doing some terrain mods. I'll put my dozers, dumper trucks under there, run some of the material that's coming out down to the road. And once it's finished running all the material, I'm saving, quitting and restarting, which is really annoying. But hopefully we've only got to wait till Friday and Christian will come out with the mod. I'm hoping he'll be able to fix this before then, to be honest. But I don't know what he does for a job, so you know, out of all might just be the hobby, for all we know. The developer may be responsible for programming all of the systems that keep us all alive every day, like water or something, you know. You just don't know what people get up to in their other lives. But it would be nice if Christian was making enough money out of this to be able to concentrate on it, because it's awesome. It is really good. Like, for a mining game, I've got other mining games. Space Engineers can be considered a mining game. 7 Days to Die can be considered a mining game. I've got Minecraft as well, I've played that. Yeah, I've played a few mining sims over the years. This one's grabbing me, like a lot better than Bergsbrook did as well. I never really got away from the starting area in Bergsbrook. Don't know why that was. It just never grabbed me. I think it's because I was waiting for the multiplayer. Because there's no multiplayer to wait for here, I've got into it. I don't know. I also like large machinery. It's just great. And the promise of larger haul trucks and big loading machinery and stuff that's coming. And that's what this soil update is about. It's about bigger machinery, apparently, from what I've picked up in the Discord. I'm not a big nethead, you know, I'm not good at internet communication, marketing, setting up YouTube channels, setting up Discords. I'm terrible. So yeah, if you've tried to search for my Discord, Mr. JP Games and Analysis, it's the and sign, you know, the one shift, if you press shift 7 on your keyboard, it's that, not the word and. Don't know why I did it that way, I just did. So yeah, if someone, you know, if you search that and you can't find it, if you can let me know in the comments, that'd be great, because that means I've got a problem. I don't know if you have to set Discords up as community or private. This one's currently private, it's like a friends only one. So yeah, turns out you need an invite from me or from another member. I don't know how that works. Yeah, feel free to leave something in the comments that's I don't know, maybe meet up in the NMC Discord at a certain UK time, or something like that. We can start chatting in their game room, and I can send you a friend request or an invite to the server that way. Sorry NMC, I'm doing a server raid, but it's not a server raid. It's more a way of keeping conversation that could be too critical for your Discord away. So we can hammer out things about the game, and people can ask questions. We can do experiments and stuff without colouring your Discord really with it. I guess, you know, if we find something that's a game breaker, I'd rather we were all talking about it in a private Discord that isn't related to the NMC one, and then come to our conclusions and bring it up in a sensible comment in the NMC Discord and be useful to them. Because that's what life's about for me. I like being useful. Not being a tradesman anymore, not being useful to people, sucks, quite simply. But the YouTube thing has improved that. I feel more useful making these videos, and hoping that just through watching what I'm doing, people are like, oh, hang on, you can use this. Like this bulking material in the dozer, I don't know if it's efficient. I may well be deleting material, I may be making an awful lot of game effort but not a lot of advance. But I really enjoy it, it's fun. And that's the main thing about gaming, it should be fun, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're actually achieving anything in game. Like, I'm not making massive amounts of money. There's people who are hauling in like 500,000, 2 million per game hour in lithium mines and stuff online. You can find them all over YouTube by just searching for the game. They've already got that covered, you know, they're going in with explosives and they're blowing massive holes and they're having a good laugh and they're enjoying themselves, and they're getting 30,000 views and they've got subscribers and all that kind of thing, but they've been playing other games, so the channels are older. I don't know whether anyone would be interested in anything other than Out of Ore. If you couple of people have already expressed interest in the Space Engineer stuff. They've said they play it, so I think that's one that I'm definitely going to at least have to tour my world and just show you guys what I do to mess around and stop me from getting bored in Space Engineers, really. So yeah, this hopper looks like it's clogging. We'll see. Maybe I should put some angles on the ends of those walls so that the blade can just slide up. Yeah, it's a smoothing moment. Ah! You rat.